just shop talk, everybody. We're back. We're a couple days late, but it's all good.
Yeah.
We
But-
have other stuff going on in our lives now, and
I was gonna say that I think the last episode we were talking about it. We're
Yeah.
like, hey, we've been pretty busy. We don't have time, but that's a good thing because
yeah, we're
we
doing.
don't have time because we're busy doing shit for the business and we
Yeah.
have other extracurricular activity on the side.
Yeah.
So
So
so we've been busy, but it's been a good busy.
yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, yes, this podcast is about cars and it's about the shop and stuff, but at the same time, like to keep saying like. We don't just
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
not-
all just cars. Do we have
Right
like
now,
everybody
we're
else? We all have other interests.
Yeah, literally, I came out of work, came over here, waited for you. You got home, showered, and then we're doing this now.
Had a little din din, and then
Had
we're
a little snacky snack, and now
we're ready to go. But yeah, no, like even yesterday we were Sunday we were busy. We were just family stuff, and then Monday, which I asked you, and
I was busy.
Yeah, you were busy. You're like, oh no, I can't. And then Tuesday,
Yesterday we were busy. Or Tuesday we were busy.
So
Yeah,
it's all good. And then today was our only day available. Again, I mean, probably this weekend. I'm kind of thinking about it now. We're gonna do Saturday, and then it'll be up Monday. But another big thing to touch bases on, we moved everything to Spotify. So
yeah, guys,
we're
big
now
announcement.
hosted by Spotify. They're formerly known by Anchor. So to geek out a little bit here, right? You need an RSS feed. You need somewhere to host it. You can do it on your own, but it's hard. Like it's this whole thing.
Yeah,
and there's a couple of things where we started where it was just the audio, where you would get just the audio. It was called Buzzsprout. And what Buzzsprout does is they create an RSS feed for you. You know, you put the podcast details into it, your artwork, the description and all that, and then as you go you upload episodes one by one and weekly by weekly. And that too, you literally put, when are they going to come out, and you put weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, this, that, or the other. But point is, it gets it out to every platform. So it goes on to Apple Podcast, you can put it goes out onto Spotify. And not that we're not going to be on Apple Podcasts, we still will be, but we're trying to figure that out through this. But anyways, there was another host that was like Buzzsprout. It was called Anchor, and now I think Spotify bought it out or whatever. They joined together.
You're directly working with them.
We're directly working with Spotify / Anchor, and so they have our RSS feed now. It's cheaper because one, it's free. So
there it is.
And then they also work with Riverside, which is where we do our recording. We do it on Riverside. So it's not only is it cheaper, it just made everything easier.
Yeah.
Right? Because now we're
Easier
recording
process.
here, and it can go straight to Spotify, and then another big announcement, Spotify video. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, you're gonna notice that a video's gonna pop up, and that's our video podcast. So you can go on Spotify and watch it, or
you
you
don't
can
have to be going back and forth from YouTube and Spotify.
or you can go to
watch the
YouTube.
video on
Exactly.
And I think on Spotify it gives you the direct link, right?
Yeah.
To YouTube. Like
Yeah,
if
you
you
can-
want
you
to,
can
you
put
click
it-
on the video. I think
Yeah,
it goes,
you
it
can
goes
put
to
it.
the YouTube.
You can go to it. So
So there you guys go.
it's just more streamlined. It's easier. We're already using Riverside. We were using Buzzsprout, and we were paying a little fee. You don't have to, but we were, because we were pumping out episodes every week. So it only allows you, for the free trial, it only allows you like 4 or 5 hours, and it's like, well, that's not enough for us. You know, we're big honchos here. We do this. So yeah, we're on Spotify now. Again, we're looking into still doing the Apple Podcast and Google Podcast and all that. But I mean, majority of the analytics that I looked into, majority of them is listening to it on Spotify.
Spotify and YouTube.
Spotify or YouTube. So, yeah. So there's that, and then no, we're just continuing to upgrade.
Yeah, I was gonna say that right now. You can tell the difference from you guys have been listening or watching from our Instagram
From our
lives.
first video.
Our first video.
Yeah, exactly. Starting from our Instagram live, to our
lives.
first video, to our
So
second
now-
video, and now it's
Like we said the last episode, our cousin John, cousin / producer, he's been in the back.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything helping us out. He gave us some lights, some I don't know what they call them, studio lights.
I guess.
He gave us some studio lights, and last week we used them. And then my cousin John was like, "Oh, it's cool, but next time set them up like this, so your
Like,
shadows look like that." And we're like,
Ah.
So I mean, you guys can't see it, but
Yeah,
it has 3 lights, so we look a little bit extra shiny today.
Yeah, it's just 'cause it's hot, dude.
Hot as hell
It's
right now
hot.
with
and
it's hot outside already. It's hot.
yeah,
the weather.
it's warm enough, dude.
You know, my brother has 3 poles with 4 lights on them pointing
It's-
directly at our
we'll-
faces.
You'll see it if you that too. We made an Instagram. We decided, hey, we got to
Yeah.
separate everything. So now all our podcast clips and stuff, they go on to THG_shop talk. So we'll post on our setup,
A little
you know,
behind
so
the
you guys can
scenes.
see behind the scenes. Because I mean, we're not hiding anything. You guys want to see what it is, and
But yeah, it's a little warm. It's a little toasty.
it's a little toasty. We got the light. So like we were saying, dude, there's phases to this. If you guys joined us on our live on Instagram, it looked janky. Like it was crazy. And then,
Well, because when you're doing on the Instagram live, you literally only had the ring light, and you had
Yeah,
the
it was just the ring
because you were
light.
using it to make when you make your TikTok videos.
yeah, exactly.
you
Like
were
any of
live,
the
and
videos.
it looked fine, but the ring lights we had to have it like kind of far to get both of us
Exactly.
in the camera, and it
So
wouldn't
the light wouldn't do
yeah,
much,
the
and then
light
we
wouldn't do much.
we had the ceiling light on.
and that still was it
and
looked kind of weird because the
it's
ceiling light is
two-
yellow
yeah,
and
it's
the ring
two
light is kind of
different
like a white
lights.
light.
So now we got actual
Yeah,
stuff,
looking
and
a lot better.
but yeah, for that too. Shout out to John, my boy's debt free, not debt free, but big debt free.
Oh yeah.
So
Shout out to John.
Shout out to John. He had these lights, and my tia and our other cousin Jackie, who his sister, they gave them to us. And but John, like my brother said, he was like, "Good job," but you guys got said it because my dude's got a little background in film. Like that's
Yep.
what he went to school for.
Yep.
And then
Film,
you know,
photography, and all
being
that
being a
stuff.
young kid and the whole student loans and all that, they got to him. But my boy's free.
What did he say?
They did the, I think, yeah.
What's the word he used?
And I don't want to. We're not throwing anything out. Like we're not like if you're in this situation, you understand it, you get it, and we've seen our dude like go through it. And John was one of the ones that continuously paid it. He was like doing it. He was making payments, doing this and that. Well, I know, and everybody has a different situation, but a lot of people, the hot topic right now is like,
He said that the student loans got fully discharged.
there you go, they got discharged.
Chip out. He sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
but
go,
he stopped going to school probably like 2014.
I was gonna say that
He
around
was
when I
living with us
graduated.
when we were with us in
Yeah,
like
so like my
2014,
senior year.
2015.
It's almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, like 19 years ago. And my brother asked him, "How much do you still owe?" He's like, "Oh, about 40,000."
Yeah,
We're like, "Dude, you've been paying off your student loans for 10 years already."
yeah.
And he still owed
Yeah.
$40,000.
So
That's how much his truck cost.
yeah, so that's a whole nother payment, and I was excited for it. I was like,
hell
and then I texted him. I was like, yo, so anyways, if you want to buy me a Monster, I know you got the money now. And
Yeah.
he's like, shut up.
We're like,
But-
"You got us carne asadas."
yeah, shout out to him. We're super happy for him. We're happy that happened. And if this has happened to you too, then you know, kudos because
We know it's a big.
yeah, because even that he
Shit sucks.
he said too. He was like, dude, I even through COVID, I paid it. I was still
Yeah, he
making
was still paying
payments. So my dude went through it, and you know, silver lining, I guess, at the end of the tunnel.
He said
So
it was
that's
his
dope.
biggest debt too.
Yeah, he was like, that's my biggest debt. He's like,
And
now
then-
I just
and
got
he owns a 2019 Toyota PRD Toyota Tundra. And for school to still be the biggest debt,
crazy.
that's crazy.
Crazy. So we got through it. If any of you guys have gone through it, cool. If you guys are about to go through it, kind of read through that student loan packet,
Yeah.
whatever it is. I didn't have to go through the student loans, but I know when I was in school, a lot of people were like, look at the ones that stop accumulating interest at a certain point. There's some loans that like after like 4 or 5 years, they're just it caps out, and then there's other ones where it's just
It keeps going.
it just keeps going and going and going. And now this whole student loan forgiveness, and you know, it's helping out a lot of people. And I know a lot of people are kind of heated about it. The ones that completely paid it in full, good for you. But the ones that still aren't or haven't. Anyways, we're not getting political here.
Keep
but yeah,
going. Keep going.
yeah.
Keep doing it.
But anyways, point is,
It's worth it.
we're upgraded on the lights because of him, and he helped us out to fix them out. You probably, like we said, you probably
We should have him as a
Yeah.
guest. We haven't asked him yet.
Yeah, because that too. He's
But
in
he should-
the tire
he's-
business. He's been around it for forever.
He's just involved in tire business, and he does a lot of our behind the scenes stuff. Like
Yeah, he helps us out,
he's always
a
like,
lot.
"Oh, what's this?" and "Oh, you should use this and use that and
Yeah.
don't use that." And it's like
especially these
Like-
lights.
me
No,
and my brother said we've never done stuff like this before. So when he tells us, it's like,
like, oh, okay.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
We're literally like when he said it was like when he told us about the lights, like
Yeah.
have them higher so the shadows are. We're like,
And that makes total sense. It's like a comment, like, "Oh, so like, why do we think of that?"
yeah. So, anyways, there's that. And then one other exciting thing, we're completely going like the next podcast. I hope it sounds 20 times better. Not that these mics are bad, but we're gonna be upgrading our mics, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be cool. And then we're gonna be upgrading the studio. We're gonna get some more some more soundproofing, so that way it sounds even less echoey,
crisper.
I mean, like we said, we got the laptop. I'm over here, dude. So I was like on YouTube looking at Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Premiere. Like school, YouTube I had the desk in front of the TV, and I was just like, oh, okay. So I kind of know a little bit more on Adobe Illustrator, and then like Adobe Premiere. It's kind of like I'm getting there too. I kind of figured it out, but yeah, we're just trying to get better at this, and you know, it's true what they say. Like, if you like what you're doing, keep doing it, because we're geeking out about this. Like, every time we get new equipment or every time we keep going,
it's funny because
it's crazy.
I think I said it before. Well, a time when I think there was like 2 weeks, right? I wasn't able to come on the podcast because I was busy. And I was like, it's funny because I don't come on, but we talk to each other every day, and it's always like, oh, fool, look what I found.
Yeah, look
check this out. And I found this mic, and I found this, and hey, you see this, and that, we're still talking. Yeah. We're still talking business, but we're not here.
Yeah, because even Tuesday, I told you, I was like, oh, I'm going to get these mics. And you were like, oh, for real? And I was like, yeah. And we were talking, and it was Tuesday. Monday, was it?
Oh, we're going back and forth with the cheer stuff.
Oh, yeah. It's all business. Like, oh, we want to do this, we want to do this. So, yeah, even though we're not on the podcast every day, we do talk every day. And speaking of podcasts, as a big segue, I want to give a shout out, and I know I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going with this, to our podcast brothers, our podcast reverends, the Rev and Philo show.
The REVLO show, finally. And I remember telling my brother a few weeks ago, like, fucking,
we were talking about it.
The new episode, dude.
Yeah.
It's funny because they were the first podcast that I listened to, and I would listen to, I would wait on their episodes.
Yeah.
I would wait on their episodes, and they were kind of the gateway podcast into me getting into other podcasts. Like, like to listen to religiously. Like right now, we both listen to this past weekend, Fighter and the Kid,
exactly,
Joe Rogan Experience,
exactly.
So on Bad Friends, we
have, but
even with those, I kind of just go to see who they have as guests, and then I'll watch it depending on who they have as guests or if there's a topic, something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
But with the REVLO show, I was just clicking on their episodes and watching and listening to them and watching them every week, every week, and then they were actually we were guests on their podcast, and that was the first time we had been on a podcast.
Yep.
And I remember you talking about it earlier, like they were kind of the reason that you wanted to get into it because it was kind of like we have a lot to say, we want people to know, but we can't like have a meeting with thousands of people. Well, not that we have thousands of listeners. Thank you to the 15, 20 people that listen to us and watch us.
Dude,
but
so
like we want to talk about stuff and we want people to hear our stories. You have your funny work stories. I have my funny detailing stories, the funny videos we're showing, and we want to share them with people.
Yeah.
And they were kind of the reason that we were both, that you were like, that a little light bulb popped in your head and you were like, I want to do the podcast. Like they're doing it.
Here we are,
we could do it too.
Episode 63. Yeah. We were actually on a couple episodes. Look, here we are getting shouted out.
But big shout out to the REVLO show, man.
To the REVLO show.
And then they're coming out with the Rev and Philo movie.
Yep.
And that was a big thing too. We've been waiting on for a long time. And while this first episode, the comeback episode that they did was with Rory, who
right here 67 as well, wrestling with the Heist Garage.
Who directed and produced and everything, the whole movie. And I remember when I seen it, I was excited, man. I was like, finally they're back, and I listened to it, and it's back the way it used to be. They're funny, talking about movies, they're laughing, cracking jokes. It's a good podcast, guys. It was a big quick shout out to the Rev and Philo, the REVLO show, man. Go check them out. And the REVLO movie's dropping soon. It's gonna be a good one. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it.
Definitely gonna be.
And Felipe or Dave, Mikey, J-Rad, if you guys are listening to us, man, we would love to have you guys on our show. We'd love to go back to the REVLO show, man.
Exactly.
You guys are so much fun. We gotta do it again.
I mean,
get together.
And they're really cool. They're really great guys. They're hilarious, and not to be Debbie Downers, but they had their own like I don't want to say I don't even know how to describe it.
They had their own hurdles to go.
They had their own hurdles to go through, and that's what this whole Rev and Philo movie is about, right? So not to give too much away, and I mean not that we're saying anything that nobody, like, people that's not out there, but unfortunately we did lose a part of the big show, the Rev himself. But when we got on the show, he had already passed, and we were like, damn, like he was the guy, the big not hating to anybody on the show, but we want to pick Chris Don.
Yeah,
because if you know Chris Don, that dude, he just I don't. To me, he was just an enigma, dude. Every time there was a couple times where when I started doing damn it, ADA, and I would wait. We would be at the taper. It was Chris Non, and then it would be like Felipe and Sean, and they would be in the front, and they were talking about the dumbest shit. And I was always like, "What?" And that's what the podcast was. It was
Chris Don with Felipe. I would talk to him, and I would like, I can talk to him when I'm on. Hey, what's up, Felipe? Oh yeah, do it. With Chris Don, it was kind of like, it was small talk, but the talk that I had with him, it was like,
you remember it had substance,
and it was funny because I walked in and I would walk through, and I was just like, why are we?
Yeah, why are we?
He'd be like,
here?
Hey,
what
dude,
are we doing?
Like, if Madam Web was real, like, would you fuck her, dude? And it was like,
what?
But let me answer the
yeah,
question.
I would. I
it was like that, dude.
But he was a great dude. This podcast is great. They took a hiatus. I don't want to say why. I don't really know why. I'm Felipe.
Well, Felipe kind of covers
like
an episode.
But the fact that they did another episode, shout out to Felipe, shout out to Dave, shout out to Rory for bringing this to life. It's a beautiful project, dude.
Show the
and is this it?
I think that's the.
It's in a weird way feels appropriate. Kobe was a living.
Oh, it's just a clip.
He was
just a
this
clip.
larger than life sort of character, and like almost like sainthood that's been like bestowed upon him feels appropriate. It doesn't feel over the top.
When he passed, there was this sense of like, oh fuck, what are the Lakers gonna do now?
These guys are great, man.
You know,
and, that's actually. Let me try and find a good, not a good. I don't want to say good clip. That was a good clip, but let's go on their actual.
Sit there, trailer. Up, right.
I think it's just a picture.
The picture.
Yeah, it's just a picture.
Damn.
But they're great guys. We were on their podcast, and it was
we were on their podcast. I think twice.
They
hosted an event, and they came to us like at Ayana's house, the pop-up event.
Yeah.
And they were like, dude, you guys gotta come. And we're like, and I think that was our first kind of big event too, right?
You know that. So like I hit him on the shoulder, like a little bit, and I felt under his shoulder, or like right here. I was like, yeah, and I felt that he had like a bulletproof vest on.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know why I did it, but like, I was like, what the? And I didn't realize he had that on. So I was like, hey, what's this? And I like grabbed it and like kind of pulled it a little bit. And he like reacted and like grabbed me and like put me in like
oh shit,
you know. And I was like, oh. And he was like, like put me like I was like, ah. And I was like, oh shit, I'm sorry, bro. And he kind of like, and then he kind of let me go.
I'm sorry, bro.
And I was like, fuck, dude, like, I didn't, you know. And he kind of like, and then he kind of let me go. And he was like, sorry, bro, you can't like, you know. I'm still security. Like you can't be like putting your hands on me like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna react. You know.
Yeah. Damn.
It's funny. Like I can remember like growing up, like remember being a kid, vividly.
Yeah.
And I remember being a teenager, vividly. I can place memories and remember things like. I can like picture them in my head, you know, almost as if like I can go there in my head, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I got older and I started drinking and smoking pot and, you know, doing other things, and it's sort of been that way ever since, you know, like this sort of like constant party in a sense.
Yeah.
The last 10 years, I can't place shit like things happen and I just instantly forget about them.
But yeah, that was
the REVLO
we can have a whole episode about these guys, about the show, and
sure.
That's for another time. Like I said, Felipe, Dave, Mikey, J-Rat, Rory, if you guys are listening to us, which you guys better be.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, we love to be back on the show, and we love to have you guys on our show. It's always a good time. It's fun. But yeah, man, big shout out to them.
Big shout out to them.
I was so happy when they
and
it's funny because I had seen. I found out because I told you on Spotify, the little blue dot came out, and I was like, "What?"
New episode.
And I clicked on it, and I was like, "New episode, fuck yeah!" And then I told you, and you're like, "Oh yeah, they posted on their Instagram like last night or something."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?" And I remember seeing the story, But I was like, I think they're just probably like recycling, like old clips.
Like it was about the movie.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, but I didn't read it, and it was like, oh, new episode out, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, man,
It's great.
It's a good one.
And they even, I mean, not to make it about ourselves, but they talked about us too, and it was like, oh damn, like we appreciate that because the whole thing, if you listen to it, the whole thing was we had a pop-up event, and we were like, hey, like you guys hosted us at your pop-up event, we want to host you guys, and we know this movie's in production, like we would love to screen it or do something. And the movie wasn't finished, and it's gonna be finished, I believe. Rory said it's finished now. We're just waiting how they're gonna figure out where they're gonna do it and stuff. But dude, it's a good podcast. Like my brother said, it was one of the ones where we got into it. I mean, for me personally, one of the big reasons was because it's like I know those guys. We worked with them. Like I know them. So it was
kind of like they were celebrities.
Yeah. Because that too, you think about it, right? You get into podcasts and you're looking at it, and you got the heavy hitters. You got Joe Rogan, who's the biggest podcaster of all time, right? He's got the biggest deal on Spotify. Even when he was on YouTube, like everybody's talking about Joe Rogan, and he has this big ass production, and you're like, what the hell? Like, that's crazy. And so these guys came up, and they were like, let's be us. Conversations we're having on break, conversations we're having when we're drunk, high, doing this. Kicking that's what the podcast is going to be. And so I was like, well, I already knew they were funny. I already knew they were cool guys. And then I was just like, how are these, amateurs going to make a podcast? And then we seen them. They started off with just audio, and then they went to YouTube. And then we were like, dude, this is dope. And we asked them, like, we would like to be on. We want to talk to you guys. And then they had us on, and we seen how their setup was. And then we went on again, and we seen how they upgraded.
I mean, you saw in the clip when right there with Chris Don, when Rev is talking, they're literally at a table like we are.
They're in a round table in their garage.
And they're using their phones as cameras, and that's when it clicked in your head, and you're like, we could do it.
Yeah, why don't we?
Like, you were thinking like, I need a $5,000 camera. I need to get a studio. I need this, and it's like, no,
we just bought the mics, and then
they showed us that they're like, dude, you don't need
that.
It's like we did, like we say with when you buy your tools, detailing, you don't need your expensive equipment, bro. You can do it. You can do it.
You start off small, and then you start building. Yeah. You fuck up, you break this, you break that, and then you realize like, oh dang it, I wasted my money on this, or I should have got this instead. But guess what? You get to where you got to be.
Yep.
And they showed that, and I really do hope. No pressure to them, but also pressure to them. Keep it going, dude. Yeah. They talked about it. They were like us. They have lives, Felipe has kids. Dave, I believe he has his own podcast, so he does his own thing, and Mikey does his own thing, and it's like at times it's hard. It's hard for them to get together and do it. But I'm glad they did this one episode, and hopefully they keep doing it again. No pressure to them, but also like, keep it going, dude.
Yeah, man, we're looking forward to those.
We're looking forward to.
You got to keep the momentum because we were waiting for a while for this one.
It's not only that, there's been a huge gap, not just from their podcast, but from us conversating with them too.
Yeah, we gotta catch up.
Usually, we're like, oh damn, we would see them at work, or we would do things. We were kind of around them, so it was like, all right, cool. We could have conversations with them. But now that we all kind of moved on, it's like, okay, well, we haven't talked to you guys in a while. And every now and then, like,
the reply to our stories, hit us with the LOL or something like that.
And even Ashley, Felipe's girlfriend, she'll hit us up. They're really good friends of ours. All of them. They're really good friends of ours. But big shout out to them. They're one of the big reasons why we're doing this, and they kind of paved the way for local underground podcast here. And big shout out to the Rev, wherever you are. Hopefully you're listening, and I think that movie's gonna do him justice. It's gonna do it.
Justice. I'm excited to see it.
I want to see it. Shout out to Rory for that. But to move on to our topics, one of the big topics that I actually wanted to talk about, because I'm scarred from it, literally scarred from it. The last podcast, kind of touched base on it, that I wanted to do spark plugs on my car, and then I was like, oh, I forgot my 10 millimeter. Got to do it at work. So here we go. Those of you who don't know, I drive that Toyota 86 TRD. Put the TRD on there. All right. It's not an FRS. It's not a BRZ. It's a Toyota 86. Put some respect on my name. All right. Point is, it's a flat four. If you don't know what a flat four is, normal engines. You got the block, whether it's a slant, it's 6-cylinder, 4-cylinder, 8-cylinder, 10, even 12 for the hypercars or whatever. But usually the pistons, they just go up and down. As you can see, those are pistons. We got it on our very nice Suavecito flag banner over here. And usually they just go up and down, or they go in a V shape. If it's you see the V6 or the V8, it's because it's a V shaped block, and they primarily go up and down. Got the spark plugs on top, and that bada boom, bada bing. What a flat 4 engine does, or a boxer engine, it goes to the side. So they do this because you get a low center of gravity, right? The engine's able to sit lower. There's a whole list of other reasons. Subaru does it. A bunch of Subarus, almost all the Subarus actually have boxer engines, whether it's 6-cylinder or 4-cylinder. Mine's is a 4-cylinder. Little history: Toyota wanted to make the sports car, but they didn't want to throw a bunch of money into building a whole new engine, this, that, and the other. So they got together with Subaru, and they're like, hey, we want you to build an engine for this car, blah blah blah, bada boom, bada bing. You got Scion, FRS, Subaru BRZ, and then Scion was cut, and now you got Toyota 86. And so I have the Toyota 86. So the pistons go sideways, right? They literally go to the side. That's why they call it a boxer engine. It's like a boxer. So there's no room. There's no room on them bitches, dude. So there I am trying to do it on my own. And again, I got back from work, so the engine was hot, and I'm like burning my hand, and I'm like, okay, I have an idea of what I want to do. And so I'm doing it, and it's not getting done. So I'm burning my hand. All right, let me go to the other side. No, I can't do it. Fuck. So I'm like, you know what? I even sent a video to my coworkers, like, here I am, like a dumbass. As what did I say? I hope no. Fuck it. No, fuck this. No one's really listening. I go, hey man. I sent him a video. I'm like, here I am, fucking myself up, as delusional as Lizzle, thinking she's skinny. Like, I'm gonna get this done today. No, I'm not. I'll see you guys Friday. I'll see you guys tomorrow, so you guys can help me out. And they're like, oh, LOL. So I'm like, all right, whatever, fuck it. So the next day comes. I'm like, hey, you guys want to help me out? We were slow. Yeah. All right, cool. So I told the homie Robert. Pedro comes, and we're there. And I'm like, okay, I know how to do this. Like, the ECU, we just got to move it. And on that side, we got to take off the fuel rail cover. And then you'll be able to get your, some room in there. So take out the ECU cover. Again, the engine was cool because it was towards the end of the day, trying to take out the spark plug boot. And I was able to get the 10 millimeter out. I was able to crack them loose. Meanwhile, I'm doing that, struggling. Pedro's just kind of there at the beginning, like, oh, dude, nah, I don't know, man. I don't know. my boy Robert's on the other side. Well, how the fuck do you take this off? And I'm like, no, you just do it like this, like telling him, but trying to get this side done. And he's just like, well, yeah, but what the fuck? It's not coming off. So he was doing that, and then he was like, do I just pull the cover out? And I was like, no, just kind of move it out of the way, because there's a bunch of metal lines for the fuel rails, and I didn't want it to, like, break or whatever. And so I thought, like, oh no, just move it to the side. And he was like, all right, how the fuck do you get this 10 millimeter bolt? He's like doing it. He took a 10 millimeter bolt out, and then we're trying to unplug the spark plug wires. And I was like, oh, just get the pig, pull out the little pin, and then you should be able to. And he's like, I can't fucking do it. He was getting pissed, dude. And meanwhile, I'm over here doing this side.
It's not even my fucking
car. Dude. He was like, your fucking car sucks, dude. I hate your fucking car now. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, all right, dude. Like, I get it. Like, I wasn't even saying, I was like, no, just like this. And so I was getting my side. We're all talking, dude. It was taking forever. It got to the point where the boss was like, hey, listen, I don't mind you guys tinkering on your own car, but it's got to be on your own time. So I need you guys to clock out. So me and Pedro, like, ran to clock out. At that point, like, Robert had dropped a 10 millimeter bolt, and he, like, was able to find it under the car. He was already done, and he was like, fuck this. And I was like, you know what, Rob? Just leave it there. I'll do it. Don't worry about it. Like, I'll do this side, it's done, and then I'll do the other side, like, tomorrow or on the weekend on my own. And he was like, oh, fuck. So he dipped. He was dipping. He came back when he was all dressed in the shop. Anything, guys? Like, nah, dude. Pedro's, like, all struggling. He had a date to go to with his girl. I was like, God. I'm sorry, Pedro. I'm sorry. And his hand was all beat up, too. He's all, fuck, dude. Like, things I do for you, man. Things I do for you. He's like, you're the one who's gonna tell my girl that, like,
you're the reason my hands all fucked up.
I'm late and I don't know what. And so we only got one side done, and I'm like driving home. I texted him, like, dude, I know it's just 2 spark plugs, but I feel half that horsepower that I'm ready. You're stupid and this and that. And so Friday comes, like, you're not gonna finish it. I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna do it at home where I have all the time in the world. So Saturday comes, right, the big moment, and I'm like, I got this. I asked them for a couple 10mm sockets because that too I dropped mine. And we were done. We were
done. About the last of us, so that you couldn't find it or something like that.
And so I was like, all right, it's in the box. It's in there. But we had to leave already. The boss was already getting, whatever. Pedro had to leave. I was like, I'm done. So when I took off, I was like, whatever. And then he texted me later on too. He's like, no joke, I saw something fly like out of your car underneath. I don't know if it was a socket, but it's somewhere out there on the 60 freeway. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So I had to ask them on Friday, hey man, like let me borrow, 10 mil. And Pedro gave me like a deep socket, a shallow, an impact. Like he gave me like 5 different 10 millimeters. Yeah, he's like, here's a 1/4 inch, and then I borrowed Robert's little extension, and because that's how I was doing it. And then I was like, when I was doing it here at home, I was like, all right, cool. And then I don't know, light bulb, and I was like, let me put a swivel. Let me put an elbow joint on this. I was able to get the fuel rail cover out. I just yanked it out, and I was like, fuck it, dude. If we leak fuel, we leak fuel, man. Fuck this. So I took the cover out. I send the picture to the boys, like, we don't need this anyways. And they're like, yeah, who needs to put it back on? I'm like, hell yeah. But there's a bunch of room now. And I'm like, all right, cool. I was able to pop those 10mm bolts out again. I was able to pull the spark plug wires, and I got that 3/8 elbow joint on there, and I finally used my Cornwell spark plug sockets that are magnetic. Oh, lifesaver, dude. Changer. So I put that elbow, and I was able to do it all like that. The elbow, I was able to put it at 90 degrees. I could put an extension, my ratchet, and just broke it loose. Got that one done in probably about an hour. So in total, I could really probably finish the job. They asked me to on Monday. So in total, how long do you think it'll take you now? I was like, it took me like 2 hours. And they're like, so what, like an hour and a half now? And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. It still takes. And yeah, and when I went back, I was like, Pedro, you're not alone. Like my hands are all, you guys probably can't see it, but my hands were all gashed up, and it was crazy. And I when I was done, I put a video on Instagram on the Heist Garage. I was like, I just want to shout out all the car gods, Paul Walker, Ken Miles. I was like, oh, you guys were up there, you were looking down, and we're like, you're gonna get this done. And the homie Dreadnought, he was like, hey, I've never done it, but I heard they're hard as fuck. I was like, once he moves shit out of the way, like it's pretty easy. Like now, I mean, I think I could do it pretty fast. If it would, if it's pretty quick and easy, as in like nothing bad happens, like no bolts get stuck or smoothly. It goes smoothly. I could do it because you just move some shit and you're good to go. Yeah. And even when I got back to work, Roger was like, so then is it worth it just to drill a hole in your fender? And I was like, well, I mean, yeah, if you wanted to, but I don't want to do that. I mean, I was just like, all right, so remind me, guys, at 60,000 miles to sell my car, at the next 60,000 miles to sell my car, because I kind of didn't want to do shit. Yeah, but I mean, other than that, like it was.
That's funny. Now you bring it up. I had a little story of my own. I had some guy hit me up last Friday.
Yeah.
For a detail, and he's all like, "Oh, hey, I have 3 Sprinter vans, 3 12-passenger vans.
Ooh.
And how much do you charge for the detail?" And I told him the amount. I was like, "Oh, this is the basic detail.
Yeah,
it comes with this." And he's like, "Oh no, I need my carpets clean." And I was like, "Oh, cool. It costs this much." And he's like, "Oh, but I want like a wax and everything outside too." And I was like, "Oh, so like I'll be considered a full detail then."
That big coverage.
I told him it comes with this. You clay it, I seal it, wax it, carpet clean, leather clean.
You broke it down.
He's like, "Okay, cool." He's like, "Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind." I was like, "Hey, cool." I was like, "Cool." It was Friday. I was like, "I'm free tomorrow," which was Saturday. I was like, "Free all day. I can be there 8 a.m.
Yeah,
I should be done by like 3, 4 maybe.
Yeah, a couple hours.
I was like, all right, cool. And he goes, all right, cool. All right, he's like, I can't tomorrow, but I'll drop them off to you during the week if you can do them, and let me know when you're done. And I was like, wow, hold on. I was like,
the phone.
I was like, nah, dude. He's like, I don't have anywhere for you to do them over here, so you can't do it. And I was like, wow, I don't either, dude. I live in an apartment, bro.
That's why it's mobile.
I was like, yeah, I'll show you the messages. That's why I told him. I was like, I can't do that, dude. He's like, well, I don't have room over here. And I was like, well, I'm a mobile detailer, which means I'm mobile. I go to you. That's literally my thing. That's how I get you.
That's in the title.
That's how I get you. I was like, I'm a mobile detailer. I go to you. Yeah. He's like, oh, I don't have room. He's like, he's like, okay, bro, it's fine. He's like, no, he goes, it's cool, bro. It's fine. Just rent a space, rent a garage, and add it to my price. And I was like,
oh, really?
I was like, what? I was like, no,
that's not how that works either.
I was like, no, dude. And he's like, just add it to my estimate. I'll pay it off. Just like, I get these vans done. And I was like,
Dude, I'm
Can't,
sorry.
dude. Not during the week, especially. I get out of work at 5, bro.
Yeah,
I was like,
where's the space at, and how long?
Yeah,
I have it over for me.
And I was like, no.
Oh man, that dude is delicious.
He's like, come on, you can't give it the space for me. And I just put no, and he stopped replying. And I was like,
that too. Even then, for him not to like, okay, I don't want to be, but for him not to offer like, I'll like find a spot, give me the price, and I'll send you at least for the spot, and then I'll pay you when the wash is
not
done.
only that.
But it's like, what?
If you know you don't have space for me to go to you, that should be the first thing you tell me.
Red flag. Like,
hey, bro, I don't have.
Do you happen to have?
I'm interested in the detail, but I don't have. You can't come over here because for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I mean, if you would have told me that, I would have. Or give me time to figure it out. But you were like, no, rent the spot, and I'm like, dude, I can't, bro. I can't
rent the spot.
I don't just fucking know people down the street. I need that garage. Hey, dude, I need your garage tomorrow. I can't do that.
Power, like,
and
oh man, that's crazy.
I was thinking about it, and I was like, was it kind of like an ego thing for me? I was like, it's not an ego thing.
It's not an ego thing.
Because I was feeling side up, and she's all like, oh, it kind of sounds like you're kind of just like, oh, I'm not gonna do that because you told me. Like, and I was like, no, that's not where I was coming from. It's just like, I can't, dude.
Yeah, like, what do you want?
What do you want to do? Like, I think if I told you, hey, Alex, I need a dozen shirts, this size, this size, this size. I want them in what's it called? You don't have fucking purple. I want purple shirts, and I want the design. I want it. I will pick it up tomorrow. You're gonna be like, no, dude, that's not the way it works, bro. I need to go buy this. I need to go, and that's
I need a little time.
Aside that, I'm giving you demand, and I have yet to pay you.
Yeah,
I have it to be like, oh, here's this. Can you have it by tomorrow? Then maybe we can work something out, bro.
But
we
could try.
If I tell you, hey, I need this and this, I'll pick it up later. And you're gonna be like, what the fuck? No, dude, you can't.
Oh, easy, buddy. Not only that, it's like you got other people, but that's so weird for.
Yeah, and I was like, what?
So, because even okay, all right, because then let's get ourselves out of that, right? But even then, it's like you could, like, if you are thinking that that's so easy to do. Why wouldn't you rent a space
and then tell me, hey, I don't have space in my,
here.
I don't have room in my spot, but I rented a garage over here. Can you come over here?
Yeah,
I don't know.
And it's like, I don't know, dude. I don't think you're making it sound like, well, I'm not gonna do it because you don't want to do it. Yeah, no, it's like, and I didn't say that because I don't have the resources.
Yeah, I didn't say that either. I was just like, nah, dude, like
that's not.
I can't.
Oh, it works. Like I can't do that. Like,
bro.
Yeah, like then, like you said,
it's coming up. I gotta pay rent. Like, nah.
It's like, how are we gonna do that? I can't rent. I gotta rent it for a whole day or something, you know? Because then it's like I gotta wash this van. That's probably gonna take 3-4 hours.
It was a Sprinter van.
It was a big van though.
It's gonna take me about 4 hours to do each one.
So
it's a 12-hour shift.
Yeah, it's a 12-hour shift, and then you're gonna have to be moving them back and forth, because I'm sure he was gonna like one by one. Oh, I can't take them all. But it's like that's so weird. That's such an odd request, and it's like
it was a first for me. I've had people tell me like, "Hey, bro, like, I don't have room." And it's like, "Oh, I can." He's like, "All right, cool." Like,
and then
like, "Oh, if you find something you can figure out, let me know." If not, then all right, cool. But this guy was like, "Oh, just rent a garage, rent a spot." And I was like, first of all, I know you can rent garages to work on your car.
Yeah,
but I don't know if you can rent one to detail. Most of them are like, "Oh, we don't want no water."
Yeah,
it's gonna mess up the machine. It's like, you can't, dude.
It's because even that when you have an actual spot like that, when you go to a car wash, they have to have the proper drainage system.
Yeah, because the chemicals that we use, and it's a bunch of stuff. But it's like, no, dude, I can't. I can't just do that, dude.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I'll show you the messages right now. And
that's
hilarious. I was like, what? That's a first. That was a first for me. I was like, no.
Yeah, no, but I don't know, dude. The fact that he was like even more pushy and was like, "Oh, come on, dude, it's just easy." It's like, what the hell are you? What are you talking about, dude? I can't just do this. So that's pretty funny, but yeah, it's just it's weird. It's weird. I don't know where people. I don't know what they were. I
don't know what this guy was thinking. First,
I really don't.
Just be like, "Oh, yeah, do this."
It's wild. Damn. All right. So right now, since we don't have whatchamacallit live. Oh, hold on. Let me see if I actually share it. What are we doing? Share. I actually have a couple videos that I
oh no, it's Temu. I thought it was Harbor Freight.
No, dude.
Freight logo.
So so I'd like to introduce a new segment of Don't Buy This Shit. This is a Temu post, and it says, "Shop like a billionaire. Take your ride." I'm assuming to a whole nother level or something like that. And obviously down here you can see is this super quality ME LM 110s 2-post lift.
That comment says either way it's a win-win. It works, or I no longer have to work.
And so we're and I actually saw this and I was like, oh, I gotta show this. So this is one of those things, right, where it's like cheaper isn't better. I mean, Temu already has its reputation. It's got its own video, like fail videos. And I'm not saying don't shop at Temu, but if you're gonna buy a lift,
don't get it.
Don't fucking decide, oh, this is where I'm gonna cut costs. No, dude. Like if you're gonna cut cost, like I said, jack stands on a jack, Harbor Freight, probably get it for under $300 or whatever, right? But a full 2-post jack, no thanks. The lifts sold in America are made in China anyway. Either way, it's a win. I saw 12K pound one the other day. Not gonna lie, it's tempting. Don't do it. 1999 Ford, whatever. I saw this. Me and my buddies thought it was a death.
I use a ton of jack stands. This can't be much worse.
Like, hey man, you're fine. Yeah, I would. What? I would. There are you. Are 2 posts hoisted that are rated for semi truck.
As long as the lock work, you're chilling. No,
this guy's tripping, dude. So Temu lifts. I mean, hey man, if
I trust this as much as I trust
dude, people, and then
don't do it.
Just
advertising.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Freight.
Yeah,
don't get anything from Temu.
And then I saw this. So another car news, right? I'm sure you guys seen it. It's everywhere. Talking about my.
Oh, you were telling us. Where are we going? You were talking about it.
We might have been going to the
brewery when we went out. Yeah, you were telling me about it, that the pedals were getting stuck.
So right here, as you can see, Tesla's recalling all 3,878 Cybertrucks due to the accelerator pedal getting stuck. So I don't think it's that. Well, it's self-explanatory. The pedal's getting stuck. You'll see how
it goes and it doesn't stop.
You'll see how. So their little carpet cover that they have right here, it pushes it down.
Oh no!
So people are driving, and as they're driving, they take their foot off the accelerator pedal, and that piece obviously gets stuck, and
that's such a stupid fucking flaw, dude.
Yeah, it's a big flaw, as you can see. And to recall, over 3,000 trucks.
Oh, it's Beverly Hills.
Look at that. And it's pretty big news because a lot of people waited 4 years for their Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Dude was like, oh, it's bulletproof, it's this, that. There's a whole bunch of problems coming out, but this is probably the biggest one that has happened. Yeah. And so people are obviously pretty pissed because they're paying.
Man, I thought it was something mechanical. The fucking carpet.
The carpet
falling off
down. So it's like the upholstery. It's like so much torque. So if you guys know your Fast and the Furious quotes right here. So much torque, the chassis twisted coming off the line. Barely kept it in my lane. Scares the shit out of me. And but yeah, and then it's like people are like, "Is this fake news?" Because you would think no, but it's real.
Not a meme page.
It's not a meme page. Oh, the high quality built from Tesla, but it is happening though. It's all over the news. People, they all need outlet swaps. Nope, not anymore. If the fucking pedal's getting stuck, and this is, I mean, we're small business owners. So I don't know what kind of a hit Tesla is taking, but
I guess also they let go of 30% of their employees, I think, in the United States. I don't know if it was in the United States or California. Probably because their sales went down.
Yeah. Awesome. More trash off the street. Toyota gas pedal. What? Entrapment all over again. Oh, I don't know that one. But yeah, it sucks. I mean, electric cars have their place. It's gonna happen. I think it's inevitable.
Yeah.
People are like, "Oh, we're gonna do this and that," but I think electric cars are inevitable. Again, you got to think about it, right? You really do. And nothing against Tesla. I don't like them. I never really liked these Cybertrucks. When I got to Firestone, we got a bunch of Teslas. I didn't like working on them. The tires, they got to be specific. It's just this whole clusterfuck. But there are electric cars out there that I do like in that.
Prius?
Yeah, it's exactly. It's the future. It really is. Again, you got to think about it this way. A lot of people are like, the gas power engines, it's the best. Diesel's the best because of this. Look, they don't have that many flaws like this and this and that. You got to think about it. Electric cars, yes, they've been making them for a while now, but they're still improving. Like preteens, right? They're still trying to figure out the world.
Yeah.
Like they're still barely learning shit, okay? So it's gonna get better, and there are other things that are way better. I know a bunch of people talk shit about Tesla because of the quality, the plastic's all fake, and yeah, but I mean, they're the leader at the moment, you know, for a reason. They're doing some stuff right. You know, there's other car manufacturers that it's not flying, it's not going well as they do their electric stuff. But yeah, I thought that was crazy. That's big news because it's Tesla, it's Cybertruck. There's big hype around it. People fucking shooting it. People trying to, you know, essentially break them.
Them gas pedals.
That gas pedal, man. Be aware. Look at that fucking Tesla on Tesla crime, dude. That sucks.
Is that a hate crime?
Is that a hate crime? And then this one goes out to all of you first year technicians.
What the fuck?
So I'm gonna let you dissect this, and you tell me what's wrong. I hope you know. So he's okay. So he's not using the wrong tool. But what do you think?
I don't know. I thought it was wrong too.
No, it's not.
Because that one doesn't look like yours.
No. So these are, you can call them oil filter wrenches, or you can call them oil filter pliers. But as you can see, they're kind of round, right? So what you're supposed to do is
you're supposed to grab them like
yeah.
I was like, because that's what yours looks like it has a little cup, and you just kind of spin it.
So these though.
He's using them like actual pliers.
Yeah, so as you can see, it has
the rubber,
and it has teeth all around it, like throughout the whole thing. That's so you can clamp it, so you hug around it like that. So he got it off. Kudos to him, but you're supposed to use them like
he had it off with a lot more effort than he needed to do.
Exactly, because the other way it grabs it. It's using all of it. You're getting good, and you're not just like doing it with your wrist, right? You can put your full body weight, use it like a wrench. And so again, as a first year mechanic, and obviously
you'll definitely put the square in the circle.
and it's the correct tool. You see right here, it's the correct tool. He's using it wrong, bud. Is that a good tool? The fact that places will hire someone who literally knows nothing about cars over someone with experience on other people's cars, including my own, is fucking insane. This guy, mid-city, whatever, I think this dude probably just tries to go into shops and like tries to get hired, but they're like, we don't need a master technician. We need a tech. And that's what he's mad about. Because, I mean, we all start somewhere and, you know.
Work your way up.
But he got it off. But yeah, he was definitely using this tool wrong. So if you guys are first year technicians and you're watching this, you don't use it like that. Yeah, it's not the way you use it. If you get it off like that, cool. If not, I mean, you're going to be using
at least he showed up to work.
At least he showed up to work. Exactly, dude. I know a lot of people that wouldn't show up. I'm trying to remember what this one was. I think I was LOLing by myself.
Be for good reason. If you know the vehicle he's talking about, let us know down in the comments.
Oh yeah, this is funny. Listen, run it.
You don't remember those cars?
So as it was going on, I was like, what is he talking about? Like, I'm trying to think about, like, you know, the Mandela effect. I'm trying to think like, okay, what cars are they talking about? Like, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I can't think of it. But so as he's going, he's explaining. All right, we're back. That was weird, man. So I don't know what happened, but yeah, we're going.
Sorry about that.
Did you push play or did you?
I pushed the red one.
No, you stopped the recording. All right. So I just pushed pause so that way. But yeah, sorry about that. We're back. Oh man, I hope we got whatever we needed to get. But all right. So real quick, I don't know how far back. This editing is gonna be crazy. Share. So there's this video. As you can see, this is what we were talking about. I hope it was during this time. I hope it wasn't before. Son of a bitch. But anyways, it's about this guy. He's talking about these cars. Like, oh, what happened to these cars? And it ends up being one of the ones. You know, it's a car. When you get a DUI, they put one of those the breathalyzer.
Breathalyzer in the car. You can't start it unless you blow under the alcohol level.
So you're not supposed to have any alcohol, right? So, anyways, he was talking about that. And we're laughing because the guy. It starts off and they don't tell you. They're just like. You guys remember those cars? Like, it wasn't a push to start or an electric car.
It was a blow to start.
It was just a blow to start, and we're laughing like this fucking guy, dude. And when I saw this video, I remember why. I was like, oh, I'm going to share it. It brought me back when I was at Firestone. Some dude came in with a car with a breathalyzer, right? And I was the one who was privileged enough to work on it. So he was like, oh, he had to wait, obviously, for us to start on his car, and he was like, oh, I'll start it. And at first I was just like, oh, he probably has like a, you know, one of those valet mode things, and all right, cool, whatever. So he did it, and then all right, car's on. All right, cool. Where are you need me to drive it anywhere? I was like, no, I'll take it in. The guy was like, all right, cool. Well, let me know when you got to start it up again, if you're, gonna turn it off and on. Like, hopefully, it's like when you're done working on it. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, what the hell? So he moves. I get in the car, and I'm like, oh. You're in trouble. So I pull it into the bay. I was
supposed to be driving.
Yeah, like what the hell. So whatever, we did that, and then I'm working on it and doing like my inspection and this and that, and the guy left. Rightfully so. He left. He was like, oh, they're working on my car. I'll come back when it's done or whatever. But I was like, all right, well, how are we gonna turn it on? And at the time, we had a service supervisor. His name was Robin, and this dude was just like, I don't know, like I don't know, dude. That guy
from Florida.
No. That dude Jay was a whole nother thing. I was actually thinking about that dude and how fucked up he was. But so this dude Robin was like, oh, okay, and I had to take it out, and he was like, all right, well, just do it, just blow in it. And I was like, bro, I'm not gonna blow in someone else's piece, bro. Like like I don't know where that shit's been. He's like, so he called the guy, and he's like, oh, there's little other caps, and I was like, you know what, Rob? I really don't want to do this. All right, I don't want to do this. And he's like, you just gotta blow in it. And so he goes and he's trying. Wrong. And I'm like, okay. Try again, buddy. Wrong. And it's not that he was drunk. He just was doing it wrong, right? But after a certain point, I know these things, the car will
like lock it,
stop, you're right? Like, it's not going to do it. And I think, depending on the severity of it, the cops will show up and be like, why are you trying to turn on your car? Like, what are you doing? You're already in trouble. So he's going and going. And I'm like, Robin, you probably shouldn't be trying that. Well, we got to turn it on. And I'm like, yeah, but after a while, like,
man, you should probably
just
stop,
call
bro.
the guy, man. Yeah. Leave this bit, and he just kept going. And he finally got it, but I was like, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, dang, that's such a big inconvenience. Like, if that's you, hey, man, like, that's fucked up. But
I heard,
like,
I think at my job, as a matter of fact, when I started working where I'm working at right now, I was talking to some guy and he said that you pay for them to install it in your car,
and it's like $400.
You have to pay monthly. Yeah, for it to keep it on, and then you gotta pay for them to take it off. So it ends up being almost probably a little over $1,000 total, depending on how long they make you keep it.
And then on top of that, your insurance goes up.
Yep.
Like, so they can't be trusted. But that was like one of my first experience, my first and only experience with something like that. And I'm telling you, he was blowing on it, and it was just, the light was just red.
Nope, do that.
Not good. And I'm just like, we should stop now. Like, something bad's gonna happen.
Boy, a little too much before work.
Way too much. And dude, but it was funny. But yeah, this dude, I thought it was hilarious. This guy's over here. Do you guys remember those cars? When I was watching it, I was like, oh, like he's gonna.
I was thinking all those cars that had the back seat that would face the back window.
Yeah, or something like that. No, he was like, the ones you gotta blow on my neighbor hat. I was like, that's fucked, dude. That's fucked, man. But yeah, I think we already hit an hour. Hopefully this delay didn't do much. This one's
sorry, but if you guys couldn't get the video,
we're sorry about that. But we'll probably put them on the story. yeah, we'll try to do something. I don't know. My editing skills are gonna be put to the test this week, so this episode might not even come out tomorrow. It's probably gonna be a Friday one and a late Friday one. But yeah, I mean, dude, it's gonna get better. I'm telling you.
Yep.
We're gonna keep upgrading. We're just gonna keep busting. What is it? What do they do in 22 Jump Street? Just gotta keep busting through the
pounding.
Keep going through the ceilings. Bust through. We're just gonna keep busting through. But again, shout out to the homies over there at the REVLO Show.
Guys, please let us know, or
Thank
one
you.
of us will message you guys, the REVLO Show.
Come on our side.
We want to talk to you guys, or we would love to be back on over there.
Yeah.
You guys are
And,
catch up.
anybody else out there who'd like to be a guest on our podcast, definitely hit us up. Again, follow us at THG_Shop Talk. You can message us there. And we'll talk about cars. We'll talk about whatever.
Tag Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight.
Oh, Harbor Freight. We're still on to you. We're still
we want sponsorship. We need all those icons.
We need
all the icons. We need all the gold
toolbox. I want a purple toolbox.
Yeah,
a purple flashlight. I'm trying to match. So definitely tag Harbor Freight if you guys see.
Yeah, these clips come out on Instagram, guys. Tag Harbor Freight. Let's get their attention.
For sure. But
we get Harbor Freight. We get a Harbor Freight sponsorship. It's gonna benefit you guys a lot more too, man.
Yeah,
we can do a lot more. So Harbor Freight,
do like giveaways and stuff like that.
Harbor Freight sponsor us.
Be all scholarly and stuff. Do like scholarships and shit. But thank you guys. We appreciate you guys. Follow us at the Heights Garage. Follow us at THG_Shop Talk. Follow my brother over here at
the Heights _Auto Spa.
Get your car detailed. We appreciate you guys listening.
See you on the next one.
As always, keep it Boyle Heights built.